Greetings everyone, Craig Hester here with R2AWatches.com, and we are in our third week of Keep Watching, our new show that we're going to do every week on Facebook Live and on YouTube. And let me say right away, if you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead and hit like and subscribe, and below you're going to see links to the watches that we're talking about today in the show. If you're watching this on Facebook, make sure that you hit like there, and after the show is over, we will then post it where it can replay, and then we'll put some links about the watches there as well. This is our third show, and we are learning as we go along. The first show, actually, we're revisiting the first show today, and we're talking about the new old stock watches, some of which we still have in stock, and the samples or imperfects that we still have in stock. The first show had a lot of technical glitches, things that were in and out of focus, and some other issues. We know we're far from perfect yet. I am trying a lavalier mic this week to see if we can get a little better sound quality. If that doesn't work, I apologize in advance. We're learning as we go along with this whole live streaming thing. It's been a long time since I actually did any recording where it was directed, where you're recording me, where you actually see my ugly mug in the recording as opposed to just me holding a watch in front of a camera. So we are learning. We're probably going to upgrade equipment and so forth as the time goes on, but here's where we are. We're kind of guerrilla style now, and we hope you enjoy it. So today we are talking about the new old stock watches. We have added some more to the collection since the last time we had the show. I want to remind you that there is a discount. It is 10% off. That is SAM10 for the samples, or it is NOS10 for the new old stock. We're going to talk about just a handful of watches today. I think one of the things, mistakes, not the right word, but one of the things I'm doing differently, we tried to cover too many watches in that first show, and it ended up being like an hour and 17 minutes, and we were rushing through the watches. So we just picked a representative sample of some of the watches that are in the new old stock category and some of the watches that are samples. The first one you see me holding here, this is a Moscow Classic 31 caliber chronograph. This is a true Russian chronograph movement in this watch. It's no longer made. Moscow Classic actually, they've created a new brand now called Flight Time or Polyot Time. So if you want to get this one, these are very rare on the market now. This is in the classic big diver style. It's a 55 millimeter case, so it's a big aggressive timepiece. It does have the canteen crown in the classic Russian diver style. It's a 10 ATM watch, so you can actually, it wasn't that long ago, the 10 ATM was a really serious dive watch, so you can dive with it. Keep in mind that because this is a lefty, you're going to have reversed on the pushers. The bottom pusher is going to be your start and stop for the chronograph, and then the top is going to be your reset as opposed to the other way around when it's a righty. So you've got the full function chronograph with a I believe it's on this one, it's a 30-minute, yeah, it's a 30-minute summing action, and then you've got the second dial sub hand. The sub dial second hand, let me get that right. Also, if you're not a fan of the cage, you can remove this cover on the top. The cage can be removed, and then this can be put back, and it can be worn without the cage. I'm a big fan of the cage in these watches. I would always wear it with the cage. I just think that's a part of the whole look and feel of the 31 caliber watches. I have no idea what that beeping is in the background, guys, so again, the joy of doing something live. So right now, what else do I want to tell you about this one? Let's see. I'm putting that back on. We've got 31 caliber, again, movement is the Polyot 31 caliber movement. This is a manual wind, okay, mechanical watch. So that's important to note that this watch is a watch that will require winding every day if you want to wear it every day. And you'll feel the tension when you get done winding. I like to say when it's a manual wind watch, you have a real personal relationship with your watch, because unlike an automatic or a quartz, if you leave it sitting, it's going to stop running, and you have to wind it. So you really get a personal relationship with your watch. Great decoration on the case back here. This is all Cyrillic, so for you guys who really like the Russian touch, this is as Russian as it gets. Big, beefy timepiece. Only one in stock, so if you want this, grab it. NOS10 would be your coupon code on this one. And it was a really great the packaging on this is awesome. It's this wooden box with plexiglass cover, so you can actually have it as a display case. And again, I want to apologize, guys. I'm still a little under the weather, so if I sound a little lethargic and if I've got a little cold in my voice, I apologize for that. But we didn't want to postpone the show any longer. We want to get in a rhythm with this. Okay, so we're going to move on. This is another new old stock, and this is extremely rare now. You cannot get the Soprod watches from Vostok Europe any longer. This has the multifunction Soprod movement in it that gives you, and I'm going to try to get in here and just quickly show you all the functions of this. You've got the date indicator up here. It has 2 time zones, which you move through by moving through the modes. I got to do the center one if I'm going to move through the modes. Here you go. And I love how the hands do this dance. It's been a little while since I spent a lot of time with one of these watches, but as you move through, so you've got local time, you've got a secondary time zone, you've got a chronograph, you've got a countdown of days, and a countdown of hours. So all of those, it's like having, multiple watches in one. It's got the multi-layered dial. It has the stand-up tritium tubes. If you've been wanting to have one of these, this is going to be one of your last chances to ever get the Lunicode 2 with the Soprod movement in it. Again, the stand-up tritium tubes, one of the things that Vostok Europe is fantastic about is maximizing tritium. For those of you who aren't familiar with that, these are laser-sealed glass tubes that have a substance in them called tritium that actually activates luminous material constantly in the tube, so the watch is always lit, as I joke, kind of like me on the weekends. So what Vostok Europe did here, and I've never seen any other brand do this, the tubes, usually when you have a watch with tritium tubes, they lay flat on the dial. So you're hiding, 40 to 50% of the illumination. Vostok Europe stood them up in these candle holders that reflect, so you get 360 degree illumination. So they're maximizing the tubes. This is a unidirectional rotating bezel on this. This is a 30 ATM or 300 meter dive watch. So this is a true dive watch. It's going to come in the dive box. It comes with 2 straps. It comes with the silicone and the leather. This is a true new old stock on this watch. Again, you can't get these anywhere else, and I'm going to quickly show you again. I'm not going to go through every function and how it works. It would take way too much time in this live show, but you can see how it dances through the functions. You have 2 time zones, then you have a chronograph, full function chronograph, countdown of hours and countdown of days. Okay, and so your calendar is up here, your seconds are down here. It's just a fascinating and interesting watch, and if you've been looking at this one and been thinking about getting it, now is the time to grab it, because we only have one, right? Yeah, we only have one of these in stock, and once it's gone, and I don't know if we'll ever get another with the Soprod movement. There are new versions out, multifunctions, but they have one of the YM movements in them from Seiko Epson. If you wanted the one with the Soprod, this is probably your last chance ever to get one. Okay. And then a real hint of the past. This is the 26669 movement. This is the old Polyot manual wind movement. Really simple, but yet kind of cool, where it has the day of the week, and it has, let's see what's on here. It's the day of the week, and it's a 24-hour hand on the 26669, the 26669. So for those of you who like to avoid that number, you might not want it, but that is the actual number of the watch. It was a movement built by the Polyot company. This is also no longer made. So again, this is immediately collectible because you're getting a movement that isn't being built anymore. This is back when Aviator was still a Russian company. They are now Swiss. Very simple, but interesting dial, big numbers. I love the silver on silver on this. And again, this is all totally Cyrillic. And there you hear the phone ringing in the background because, again, this is live. So if you want this one, there's only one. This is definitely a collector's item among the new old stock. And a reminder that NOS 10 will save you 10% off the already low price on the new old stock watches at r2awatches.com. Now we are moving on to the samples. What this is a watch that was used either in a display case, or it may have been used on when we were doing video retailing like this. It may have been a sample we used at Evine. Who knows? And it's going to have some kind of slight imperfection on the watch. And when I say slight, I mean slight, guys. If there are ones that had any bigger problems, we don't have them listed right now on the samples in the new old stock. So you're getting a great price, and again, if you use the coupon code SAM10, you're going to save an additional 10% off of the already low price at r2awatches.com. And you just basically what you're going to find when you get it is you're going to find something so minor. It's something that you would have done in the first week of wearing it, but it's just enough that we can't, in good conscience, sell them as new. So we have them listed as samples and imperfects. This is the Maria. This is the largest watch that Vostok Europe has ever made. It is named for the big plane. It's actually the largest cargo plane in the world, the Maria, which means dream in Ukrainian. Exhibition case back on this one. This is an automatic watch with the NH35. Let's see, I believe this is 200 meter. Yep, this is 20 ATM, 200 meter, water resistant on this watch. It has the K1 mineral crystal, which gives you the best of both worlds between sapphire and regular mineral. It's also going to come in the dive case. It comes with two straps. It's going to come with this white silicone, and it's going to come with a black leather. So if you're not a fan of the white on white look, you will have the black leather. And if you're interested, we also sell straps at r2awatches.com. You could pick up a black silicone for this as well. I think there's even an orange that would go with it if you like that look. But I believe this is the only one we have in the samples, new old stock. So this is a really cool timepiece, a great deal to be had because there is something slightly imperfect. I'm hunting around for it. In fact, I'm having a hard time finding it. I think there was just a little bit of a discoloration on the case back or the side on this one. They're very minor imperfections, but it gives you some savings on the watch. This comes with the screwdriver for changing out the strap. It is a big bar in there that to use to change out the strap on this. So these like most Vostok Europe divers, this is a heavy duty watch. It is Super Luminova on this one. This one does not have the tritium tubes, I want to be clear. This one does have Super Luminova on the indicators. So check that one out in the sample category at r2awatches.com and use SAM10 to save an additional 10%. We're going to move on to an Almaz. This is from the Almaz collection. Again, I believe we only have one of these in the samples. I think what was this one is the strap was just a little bit worn, and there may have been, there's just one minor little scuffing. There it is on the side of the case. You'll never be able to see it if I try to show it here. So again, slight imperfection, but you get a great deal on it. This has that beautiful, beautiful, deep, rich green dial on it. Unidirectional rotating bezel. This is also 200 meter water resistant, so it is a professional grade dive quality watch. K1 mineral crystal, automatic NH35 movement, fantastically supple strap. Vostok Europe makes such fantastic straps. Look at that. This strap is immediately comfortable when you put on the watch. You won't have any break-in period. For most all of the straps from Vostok Europe, there's really no break-in period, but especially this one that they did with the Almaz. It's like a multi-layer leather. I mean, it's super thick. I think it's 3 layers of leather on this watch. So it is just a phenomenal strap on a great timepiece that is a looker, that has a lot of functions and features. This has the 6S, I believe it's the 6S11 when it's the stand-up, or maybe 6S21. Anyway, it's from the 6S series by Miyota. They have the largest subdials of any watches made, quartz chronograph movements made, and that's why Vostok Europe picked these for this, because with the OS22s and some of the other chronograph movements, the subdials, if it's a big watch with a big dial, they kind of get lost on the dial, but definitely not with the 6S series. It's a big, hefty subdial that gives you a great presence on the dial, And again, full function chronograph. And because there are jewels and mechanical parts in this quartz movement, this is a high-end quartz movement, you can see that when you start the chronograph, the second hand actually sweeps, almost like an automatic or a mechanical. That's how well made the movement is on this. So that's the Almaz in the samples at r2awatches.com. SAM10 gets you an additional 10% off the already low price. And moving on, the last one. Okay, guys, I can't believe that in the 2 weeks that we've had the samples on the site, nobody's grabbed this one. This is, I don't know that these are available anywhere else. This is the full lume dial with the Vostok 32 jewel movement. Now, Vostok being a different company than Vostok Europe. This is the Vostok 32 jewel movement that was produced for this watch. It has the 3 complications. It's got the 24-hour indicator here. Then it has a day-night indicator, and I want to move the hands. This is a screw-in crown on this, and please forgive me, I'm doing this upside down and backwards, so we'll see if I do it right. Okay, and there you can see on the other little half circle there at the bottom, you can see how it's white now, and as you move through the day, the black will come in, and then you have the nighttime indication. So it is a day-night indicator. That was a function created for submariners. You can't look out the window of a submarine and see whether it's day or night. So it's a nice quick indication of day or night, and I am trying to screw the crown back here in with my left hand upside down and backwards. So exhibition case back with this beautifully decorated movement. Great decoration on the rotor, and you've got the blued screws, the furnace blued screws. And so this is a 48 millimeter. This is surgical grade stainless steel. It kind of looks like titanium because it is a sandblasted matte stainless steel, but I want to make sure clear that this is surgical grade stainless steel. This is not titanium. But this is no longer made. This particular model is no longer made. It's got some kind of slight imperfection on it. And if you want that orange and full lume, do not hesitate, because we only have one, and when it's gone, it's gone. Fantastic strap on the Expedition North Poles. I love the rivets up against the case. The multi-layered strap, that is not just a stripe there on top of the leather. That's actually a separate piece of leather below 2 other pieces of leather. It's got a double tang buckle. There's just so much going on this watch. A 200 meter, even though this does have an exhibition case back, and it is an automatic with the Vostok movement, it is still a 200 meter water resistant. So this is a professional grade dive quality watch. And we have other straps, nylon, silicone, and so forth that you could pick up if you don't want to have the leather, so if you want to use it as a dive watch. So this is the Vostok Europe Expedition North Pole with the Vostok from Chistopol, Russia, 32 jewel movement. So that is that all of them? Yeah, I think that's 6 pieces. And I just, before we move on to one other thing, that's 6 pieces. Now, again, it's new old stock. It's samples. Once they're gone, they're gone. We are going to probably have some other, we'll get these along, and we'll add in more new old stock, and we'll add in more samples, and we'll do more shows about that as time goes on. But we've already sold out about half of what we had on the site. So if you're interested, this is something to grab. I did want to mention that we've picked up a new brand. It's called Extree. As you guys all know, if you've been following us for a while, if you want to go ahead and give me the other one, I'll show them beside each other. Most of our watches start, north of 300. It's not a whole lot that we have that's under 400. Am I holding that right? Yeah. So we picked up this brand Extree. They're more affordable. They're all quartz, but they're all top quality Miyota quartz movements. It's really actually amazing what all they put into these watches for the price point. Sapphire crystals on almost all of them. Surgical grade stainless steel, multiple functions. Most of these are homage watches to other brands that you're going to see similarly, but they are very affordable, and it's an opportunity to pick up something from a company you trust with r2awatches.com and get they have great styling. The straps are, for the price point on this, the straps are amazing. I mean, they're just really, again, triple thick. I hate to I don't like to compare between brands, and I'm not going to say these are full-on Vostok Europe quality straps, but they're darn close. I mean, these are really, really well-made, and they come with 2 straps. Every one of these comes with 2 straps. They've got multiple functions. I'm not going to go through. I'm going to do a show later about X-Tree where I'm going to go through some of the watches and go through some of the functions of them. This was just to show you that we have picked up the line, and if you wanted to get something from us that's there's some of them are south of 200. I think all of them are south of 300. So it gives you an opportunity to pick up something new and different at a lower price point. So we are sitting at, I think, somewhere around 20 minutes now. I have no idea how long we're going to have this show every week. It'll vary, but this is Keep Watching by r2awatches.com. Again, this week we were just revisiting the samples and new old stock, telling you about the new brand that we picked up, X-Tree. If you are looking at those new old stock or samples, I got to tell you, we had a walk-in customer today at our store here in Connecticut. We had a walk-in customer who came in, bought 3 of the samples, and walked out. And those were the only 3. Those 3, there was only 1 still in stock. So don't hesitate. If you're looking at these new old stock or samples, and you wait till the next day, they may be gone. So I'm Craig Hester with r2awatches.com, and we'll be back here hopefully next Wednesday on time, 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 Pacific. Keep watching.